anybody that is going through a calamity. Wagner Russia says, if Conor fought Paddy, who would win? Okay, so that's a very good question, Wagner Russia. I think that would be a 50-50 fight, to be quite honest with you. The reason why that would be a 50-50 fight is because Paddy is still coming up, and I think Conor McGregor, even though he's not fully immersed himself into the training camps the way that he should, he still has enough skills to knock Paddy down, because Paddy does make a lot of mistakes on the feet, and his grappling is very good. And I'm talking about Paddy's grappling. It's very good. But is it Khabib good to where he can do whatever he wants with Conor? And guess what? Even in the Conor McGregor Khabib fight, Conor did pretty good in the wrestling exchanges in comparison to other people. So it's a 50-50 fight. But who would win? Geez, I would probably have to go with Paddy. I think Paddy would win that fight. Yeah, I think Paddy would win that fight. And he would win by decision. I don't think Conor has ever lost by decision ever. Ever, right? I don't recall Conor McGregor ever losing by a decision. So I think that it would be the first time in Conor's illustrious mixed martial arts history that he would suffer a defeat via decision. And some will argue that Conor McGregor should have lost against Nate Diaz the second time around when they went to a decision. Floyd Mayweather watched that fight with his bodyguards, and I remember he was scolding one of his bodyguards for illegally streaming the fight, saying, well, why don't you just pay for it and this and that. But that's another story for another time. But either way, yeah, I think Conor McGregor would lose to, what is this? This dude looks like he definitely gets his cheeks clapped. All right, so that right there is listen, no Diddy. When did you transition? Listen, bro, you have no idea who I am or what I'm capable of or what I could do to you. So you're the one that comes in here with no profile, no picture, just so you can feel anonymous and feel better about yourself saying whatever it is that you want to say. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to redeem yourself. Full support to Israel. Hail Israel, Knob Gamer says. So what is it about Israel that you support? Not that I have any judgment towards you in any kind of way, because remember, when I'm on here, when I'm on YouTube, I don't have strong opinions on things the way that I would in a private setting. Now, if you want to know anything about my private settings or anything about my private thoughts, I urge you guys to join on the member section below, because what I got for you are just raw and uncut opinions on matters like this. But as far as engaging with the crowd, engaging with people online, engaging with people on YouTube on this particular matter, I'm going to be very neutral about it, even though you know that there's one side that I may lean towards over the other. And again, I also want to understand that from your face, I can tell you are a Palestinian supporter. Well, Knob Gamer, unfortunately, you don't have a face for me to tell anything other than who you support. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat you like, I mean, you know, you're a person behind all that, but I don't know anything about you. So that's how I'm going to treat you as such. I'm going to treat you as a person that I really don't know anything about, or just a person impersonating someone else, trying to be something else that maybe you're not. Or for all I know, you could be an IDF soldier, special forces guy that's kicking butt every day, and maybe even a fighter that has a burner account. Who knows? but I don't know who you are or anything like that. So I'm just going to treat you as such and not have high emotions about it. My man here says, Wagner, Israel never fights alone. Haha, scared. Yeah, Wagner is sort of right about that, right? They're not exactly the type of people that fight alone, but they can do things alone. And here's the thing, right? You got to respect the Israelis for some of the uh, assassinations that they've done over the years. Now, you guys remember the Berlin Olympics, right? Where they had those Israeli soldiers kidnapped by Palestinian, I believe it was PLO members or some sort of liberation group pre-Hamas, right? So, hey, brother, love the Abe Lincoln beard, very Chechnyan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, you know it's an Islamic beard. Obviously, the Chechnyans made it popular, but it has an Islamic component and history behind it. So, yeah, thank you for your kind gestures on that particular matter. So, going back to the Berlin assassinations, or I'm sorry, the Berlin kidnapping of Israeli athletes. So you guys remember what the Israelis did as a result of that. They followed every single one of those guys that committed that particular, well, whatever you want to call it, and they hunted all of them down. I've seen a movie of this. Daniel Craig was actually one of the main characters in this movie. Now, if you know the movie, uh, click down below. Why do you not have a mustache? Well, Knob Gamer, I think you know why I don't have a mustache. It's an Islamic component, and if you want to know why most Muslims or very devout Muslims don't have a mustache and have a beard, it is because we cannot emulate the disbelievers in any kind of way, right? So that's really the basis behind it. Everybody has a beard. Jews have beards. Bikers have beards. Gangbangers have beards. Rick Ross has a beard. Orthodox Christian priests have beards. So we have to distinct ourselves differently. And that was the commandment of the prophet, peace be upon him. So yeah, that's why I don't have a beard. But thank you for the question, Knob Gamer. I really appreciate your presence here and your good questions. Please keep them coming. Wagner says Amish people also have beards and no mustache. Very true. That is very true, Wagner. They also do have that going on. So it is interesting that you did bring that up. And yeah, there are a lot of Amish people in the East Coast of the United States. Obviously, you can tell by the palm trees behind me that you know that I'm in the West Coast. So yeah. So on any regard, to differentiate from non-Muslim, is that correct? Yeah, that's correct, Knob Gamer. That's exactly the reason why we as Muslims do that. We do that for that reason alone, so that we can differentiate ourselves. So now, if I travel anywhere in the world, let's say I go to any random MMA gym and train, right? I will spot out a Chechnyan, an Arab, somebody that is of Muslim heritage right away just by the beard. Now, I will say the Chechnyans and the Dagestanis follow this to the T, not so much with Arabs. You see, there's still some Arabs out there that are a little bit more secularized, are a little bit more secular, a little bit more liberal in their approach to their fashion. I mean, even myself, look, here's another Islamic component that I think a lot of people don't know about when it comes to hairstyles and things of that nature. You see how I have a fade right here? This is actually not allowed in Islam, right? You're not allowed to have a fade in Islam. Ty Beam 617 says it's literally not. It's literally not. It's in the quarantine as hygienic. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that information. Reasoning essentially. The Quran, not quarantine. Oh, okay. 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 You made a mistake there. Okay. It's for eating. Okay. Tanner. Yeah. That's a little inappropriate for you, but I'm going to leave your comment up anyway, Tanner. But thank you for being here, and thank you for your comment and engagement. You look different because of the hygiene rules in the Quran. You are talking about things you aren't sure of. Well, Ty, listen, man. Uh, there is a hygiene component to that, of course. And if I didn't know that, and you gave me that information, great. But don't be a snob about it to where like, oh, well, how do you not know where this and that? Remember, bro, we're all students of the game in life. No matter what your education is, there's things I know that you may not know. There's things that you know that I may not know. And this is literally why we're here, so that we can have a civil discourse and engage ourselves in proper conversations and perhaps maybe learn something out of it. Uh, so please stop with your Islam propaganda, bro. Playboy says. Well, Playboy, I'm glad that you said that. This is not Islamic propaganda in any kind of way, because if it was, what I would be doing was cursing Dave Portnoy to the highest order, and I'm not doing that. If you watch from the beginning of the stream, I actually said that what Dave Portnoy is doing is his right. It's his right to do that. Even though Dave Portnoy is an American, he may be a Jewish American, but he's an American waving a flag of another country. But that's neither here or there. Now, me, I love America. I love being in America. I'm proud to have American citizenship. But at the same time, I also have love for Saudi Arabia. I also have love for Palestine. I also have love for Yemen. I also have love for Iraq, for Pakistan, for all the Muslim countries that are out there. Wagner, Russia says, I am a Chechnyan who lives in Europe, but I get discriminated because of my beard. Yeah, man, it's hard to get a job. I would imagine. I would imagine, especially in Europe, not so much in America. I do see a lot of Muslim engineers, and quite frankly, they really can't do anything to them. In other words, they are consummate professionals, whether they're doctors, even lawyers, right? They have beards out here, the Muslim guys, and you can't do anything about that in the job setting, because it's all about performance by the end of the day and not what you look like. At least that is in American fashion, right? Americans are all about performance and who is the best, and that's about it, right? Which is the reason why a lot of black athletes out here really rise above the racism, at least for their own, not necessarily for all of their people, but for their own self-being. They're able to rise above racism, where they become accepted into higher societies and things of that nature because of their status as as a superstar. um so Ty Beam says, honestly, respect for you leveled for your leveled response. Thank you, my man. Apologies for coming at you. Stay well. Yeah, no problem, my man. And look, here's the thing, right? Here's one thing that I notice about a lot of YouTubers that answer people online, right? They often get into this shouting match with people. They get into these heated debates, and they don't even know who these people look like. Ty, I don't know who you are. I don't know you from a can of beans. But for all I know, you could probably be a very level-headed person as well. Or you could be an absolute a-hole for all I know. But either way, I don't really know, right? So for me to go and attack you just based on saying something that we don't agree with, or saying something that I don't like, is, it's not a very mature thing to do. Knob Gamer asks, "Are you Sunni or Shia?" I am a Sunni. Knob Gamer. Now, Knob Gamer. Usually, if you see somebody with no mustache, it's usually a sign that they are a Sunni. Shias, I think, are a little liberal when it comes to allowing the beard. Right? They let their beards grow, their mustache and whatnot. Wagner asks, "Who is Dave Portnoy?" So Dave Portnoy is a MMA needs if you want to find predictions, news, and everything that deals with MMA. Shout outs to Kyrie, Abu El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California, represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here, you was talking that shit. That's right, bro. Much love, Flo. I appreciate you for always stepping in, bro. Be safe out there. Man, my nigga Kyrie, my man Kyrie came through. He started talking that shit. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. that nigga will whoop your fucking ass. You will think that nigga's all squared up and all that type of shit. Nigga come through and beat your fucking ass. Like, man, fuck you up. You will never see it coming. So for those of y'all